YouTube and welcome back to TCG Cardshop Sim. So last time we had a pretty okay day. Not a massive turnout for cards, but definitely got some high value. Definitely got some decent value, but overall we still are lacking in the card department. So this stream is pretty much gonna be me yapping and talking while opening card packs. But also, there's really not much to talk about since literally nothing happened over the weekend. Which is a rarity, but it happens. So, yeah. Let's get started. I forgot to mention something about this game. Apparently there is a new update coming out early January, which is really cool, because December 18th, I think it was, they announced an update that was upcoming for the new year. 6,600, yep. So, yeah. Before we get started, how is the music and my volume? I just want to double check that real quick. Make sure that everything's good. Don't need to fiddle with any settings. Everything's good. Alright, cool. Brief announcement also. Tomorrow, I think, let me check something super quick here. Now, this Thursday will be the finale of Moonstone Island. I am only going to be doing one more stream of it because there's really not much left to do. Thursday? Thursday what? Sometimes I put Moonstone Island for Tuesday, and sometimes I put it for Thursday. But Moonstone Island will be, this Thursday, it will be the finale. Pretty much gonna do whatever I can. I'm going to hunt down all the remaining islands. Try to get a perfect clear on the islands. I am going to attempt to also, I think, other than the islands and just like building my decks and stuff, I'm also going to collect all of the different seeds and plants for each season. So, and I think that's literally it. But it's gonna take me, if I get close to the end of stream and I haven't knocked out all the islands, then I will just speedrun the seasons and get the seeds to show off the last remaining plants I was missing. And that will pretty much be the end of Moonstone Island. I feel very happy with what I managed to get done on my own. 192 on my first playthrough. On a somewhat related note, I've been playing on my own solo profile for a little bit. Almost to the end of Season 1, and I am in a so much more better position than I was. than the first season of my my stream playthrough. Pretty much, I've literally gotten all of the seeds, which means I won't have to do a year 2 for the seeds. I've gotten the majority of the creatures. I've gotten some of the islands, and I'm working towards the, I've gotten the glider. That was in Season 2, near the end of Season 2 that I got the glider on my playthrough, on stream. So, I am just blazing through it on my own time. And I will probably replace Moonstone Island with Bollock's Pit. But we got some other games coming down the pipeline. I might replace it with something different and keep Bollock's Pit for just one day on stream. I haven't fully decided, but we've got a list of games that we can go through. Not all of them are RPGs either. Yeah. This is only the first box. We've already hit 192. So, we're not doing terrible just yet. 2 boxes in, and all we have is that. It would be bad, but I don't believe I set up shop, so we're kind of stuck with doing the cards, unless I know I've restocked everything, bare minimum. So, if I want to open a store for a day, I'll have to price everything. Kind of slipped my mind until it was too late. Also, I guess there is one more piece of news that I've kind of 131. Been keeping my eyes on a little bit. With the end of My Hero Academia, a lot of other shows are kind of wrapping up too. The most popular one being One Punch Man. It just had its final episode, and it was about the same as the rest of the season for a lot of people. A lot of people were like, this episode was okay, and okay is a very low bar, considering the rest of the season in their minds. Quite frankly, the only reason I've kept an eye on it is because I wanted to see if it didn't get any better. Because I had wanted to watch One Punch Man, but after hearing and seeing Season 3 myself, like watching people do reactions to it, and just like reading up on it and all that stuff, it seems like not a lot of people are happy, and it's pretty much just been a very, very sloppily done show. I'm not gonna point fingers and say who's to blame, because I really don't know anything about the Japanese anime industry, or the anime industry in general, I should say. Whether it's Japanese anime, American cartoons, and I've never really gotten the distinction between the two, because animation is animations and cartoons are animated, but people say there's a distinct difference, and I don't really understand it. I'm what you would call kind of like a tourist, but I'm not one of those types of people who claim to know or pretend to know everything. I'm more of a casual watcher, I should say. So, 90% of the time when I'm talking about animes, it's either something I've personally seen or watched repeatedly, or something I've heard from other people and, like, glimpsed at. So, in my earlier days, I was much deeper into anime, and I would watch it non-stop all the time. These days, I don't really watch a whole lot of different anime. I'm really looking forward to Frieren Season 2. Hi, Sassy. I knew that was her the second that popped up. Hello, Sassy. Anywho, so I'm looking forward to Frieren Season 2. I really want to see it, because the show's so good in my opinion. And it's a weird one, because, yeah, there are battles, but they're very far and few in between. The main focus of the story is the characters. And the main perspective of the story is basically a being that lives so much longer than everyone else. I guess. I would like it to, but she's on your computer, not her own, so it only counts as one. Well, we can pretend it does. But, yeah, it's told from the story of an elf that lives way longer than any human, and basically is learning human emotion. Like, she has emotions, and throughout the show, she shows that she has emotions, but she's learning about human connections and how to connect with humanity. Because she's not only been isolated for so long, but she has the perspective of every human life is like a blink of an eye to me. It goes by so fast, so what's the point of actually getting attached? And it's a very sad perspective, but given that she's probably known people, multiple sets of people throughout their entire lives, and just for them to go poof, it would be understandable, you know? You kind of get, not jaded, but like, immune to emotions after a certain point. Null or dull or numb, I should say. So, 299. And so it's just so interesting watching this character grow and learn while the other characters around her are actually influencing her and learning themselves. It's a very wholesome show. It's a good show, and I can't wait for season 2. But beyond that, there's also, I guess there was some news I wanted to talk about. Frieren is just something I've talked about before, but 1,463. Frieren has been a topic I've talked about in the past, so it's not like news or new. And I talked about Season 2 coming out when it first was announced. But it's getting closer and closer, and with a lot of shows that I like announcing their final seasons and all that. Yeah. Black Clover is another recent topic news. I loved most of the show. I kind of fell off of it. But it's cool that it's getting a final season, but it's sad that people aren't liking the final season. And of course, some people are going way overboard, being dumb and tweeting out personal attacks against the creator of the anime and all this other nonsense. It's like, get a grip, people. It's not real life. You know? I wish some people would understand that. And understand that just because they want it to happen doesn't mean things in the show will happen, or the manga will happen the way they want it to. I think it's stupid for people to get so upset where they're tweeting out personal attacks against the maker and his family, saying awful things about them. It's ridiculous and sad. 305. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been disappointed with shows, but I've never felt like attacking the personally, verbally assaulting or attacking the creator of the show just because it didn't go the way I want. People are so entitled these days to be doing so. I'm not a One Punch Man defender where it's like, well, at least we get something. No, it's clear that this individual worked hard on the manga and on the show because of how long it's taken for all of it to come out. 297. Battling through personal issues and family issues and all this other stuff that has come out recently come out over the years about him and his journey through this show and manga that he created. So it's clear that he does care and want it to be good, but personal health issues apparently forced him to rush the ending of the show. That and family-related stuff that he wanted to spend more time with his family. So he kind of rushed the ending and everyone's upset about it. If that's what the actual case is. From what I've been reading, it seems like it is. $1,396. Tomorrow we'll be playing Slay the Spire or Enter the Gungeon, depending on how the Slay the Spire runs go. Because I do kind of want to get back into Enter the Gungeon just for some fun runs. Now that I've beaten one past, which I'm so happy I did on stream, I can finally feel like I've accomplished what I set out to do, even though there's a billion more things to do. Now I just wait for Enter the Gungeon 2 to come out. $167. So how was everybody else's weekend? You do anything? Wow, 6,874. Well, we broke even. Way past even at this point. That's really good. $4,525 worth of profit right out the gate. $1,396. So before we were happily interrupted, 204, by that amazing card. How was everybody else's weekend? You do anything? You see anything interesting? No. Mom says good and did nothing. That's perfectly fine. My weekend was great and I did nothing as well. Well, I played some games. Bought some games on Steam over Christmas and all that. So, 172. 134. Oh, I thought that was a God Pack for a second there. Yeah, but people know we live together, and I would probably never want to mention that, you know? Because if we had won $1 million, there would be a lot more going on in our weekend than just nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. 379. And a ghost rare. First ghost rare of the stream. Getting all too close to that level 80. I do want to purchase the next... As soon as I get to level 80, I am going to be purchasing more back room. But yeah, things have been going well. The cards are really doing well today at the start. We had a very, very strong start for cards. For those wondering, we like to count the total value of cards based on cards that we sell versus how much they cost for us to purchase. Currently, within our first set of cards, we are at $6,809 worth of profit. Typically, we only sell cards in our shop that are worth over $100 or around $100, so 80 or 90 at most, or at least, and at most is whatever we get beyond that. Because most of the merchandise in our shop, we want it to be more expensive than most of the stuff in our shop. That way, if they choose to pick cards when they come in, because how it's set up is that a random number generator basically guides the customers when they enter the shop to perform certain actions. So if they take cards, we don't want to lose out on money. So if we had like $50 cards, there are a lot more stuff in our shop that is worth more than 50. So we want it to be a benefit that they choose the cards, which is why we open so many packs every stream, or almost every stream. Because we burn through them very, very quickly. They're a very hot seller. If we want to maximize our profits, then cards are the way to go. And I usually call out the numbers to every card that is over $80. What we do is when we purchase the boxes, we tally up the cost of how much it costs, and then we begin building towards our profits. So we've clearly made over $6,000, and on top of that, we made an extra $6,800 worth of profit. Meaning that our next card sets we pull will be completely free. We would still be in the green. $117. I've been playing Bollock's Pit on my own time, on my own profile. I'm pretty much already caught up. I had really good runs on my solo playthrough. Although, it took a lot longer to get everything started because I kept screwing up and getting taken out on good runs because of making mistakes. And then during harvesting, I kept screwing up and not building the buildings I needed to build. But I've already unlocked the second level, working on the third level, but I'm also taking my time. Because I'm playing on my own, I can afford to play the same level over and over and over and over until I actually win, rather than have chat be bored of me playing the same character in the same level over and over and over. So I can have variety. Or so I don't need variety when I'm playing by myself. I can just grind out the levels I want to get. Power World is inching ever closer to its full release. It's said to be released next year. I don't remember the exact date, if there is one. I'm thinking about playing it on and off stream. Not like just a check-in or whatever, but just like every once in a while play it on stream. when it fully comes out. Show off my bases that I'm building. Show off my teams I'm creating. Things like that. Maybe fight some bosses on stream. Stuff like that. I think it would be cool. And I think that's pretty much about all the updates and news I have. As I said before, not much really happened over the weekend. Pretty much just been gaming and vibing. Still kind of deciding what's going to replace Moonstone Island once it's done. I know I'm only going to have one RPG going at any given time, because I feel like having multiple RPGs would be too much. At least right at the moment. There is one thing I do need to do off stream. And it's because I don't want to do it on stream because it's a long track. And that is record a video of me getting the third and final rare coffee and turning them in. 148 in Final Fantasy IX, because that requires me running all the way to the town by myself with no party, because I can't advance the story because my party is split up right now. And now is like one of the only times where you can do it. So it's one of those types of situations where it's just something that's better done off stream and just record the video of it. Which makes sense to me. I mean, would anyone really want to see me run all the way to that town and just like grind the story to a complete halt instead of making progression to where I can actually do stuff? 318. Yeah, I didn't figure it would be any kind of fun to watch that. So I need to do that today. Or tomorrow. After stream. I mean, it's not a super long trek, but there is going to be a lot of random encounters that I'm going to run away from. So it's just going to be me running from enemies and trying to get there. A high enough level where the trek itself shouldn't be that dangerous. I also have a skill to assist me with that, so... it should be fine. Also, running away from enemies grants me money, so I can grind up money while doing it too. 125. Which is neat. Alright. Hello, the Briar Cat. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How was your weekend? $299. Yeah. I like to start off the week with a nice chill game where either A, I can talk about my weekend, or B, just vibe and chill. You know? This game doesn't really take a lot of attention, and there's not a, real level of, like, needing to be invested, unlike Slay the Spire and other games, where I have to focus on what I'm doing or I make mistakes. So it's a good, chat game, you know, just chit-chat. So, what type of games do you like? Because I play a variety of games. Ooh. I'm a big fan of farming games too. I've played all of Stardew Valley. Like, I didn't platinum the game, but I got the 100% ending, the quote-unquote true ending to Stardew Valley. And I'm currently looking to, this Thursday, finish off another sort of farming game called Moonstone Island. Sunhaven? $299. Hold on a second. I'll bring this up on my Steam for after stream so I can take a good old look at it. Yeah, that's kind of like Moonstone Island. Oh, it's on sale too. Cool. I'll take a look at it after stream. $299. Did you get that one? Uh, 2 seconds, chat. Sorry about this. Hold on. I will be right back. 2 seconds. I'm back, sorry about that. It's not an official break, it's kind of a impromptu break because I was hearing a lot of noise. So I wanted to go check it out. It was nothing important, nothing big. Everything's fine. Anyways, hello? Okay, there we go. But Moonstone Island is a lot like that. You have the creature capturing mechanics, and the whole farming aspect of the game is essentially creating crops to assist you with your battling with your monsters in dungeons and fighting bosses and stuff like that. So it's more of a card battling game than a farming game, but there is a big aspect of farming in it. Because if you don't farm, you literally can't capture any creatures or heal your creatures or anything like that. It's kind of interesting too, because usually when you play games, you don't have finite resources, but in this game you kind of do, in Moonstone Island, because moonstones appear on every island, but there's only one of them on every island, and they're random rare drops, so you often run out if you use them recklessly. It was a very interesting game, but I'm in the cleanup portion of that. Did you hear that the makers of Stardew Valley are making a new game? The Haunted Chocolatier, I think it's called? That I will also be checking out. There's a lot of farming games that are actually coming out that I want to check out. Thank you, the Briar Cat, for the game suggestion. Very much appreciated. I'm always looking for new games that pique my interest. I think that's it for this box. No, it's not. Okay, more. I'm a big fan of RPGs as well. Which, by the way, I have great news for you, Mom. We're taking a break from Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy IX. We'll be going back to one of my childhood games, Suikoden. It's an RPG, but it's way different than Final Fantasy. I bought that, the Steam winter sale is currently going on, so I decided to pick that game up and a couple other games. And it looks like I'll be looking through, and seeing if they got anything else I want. I've been looking, but nothing really popped out at me, so every day I look because they changed like the featured lists and all that stuff. Some games that go on sale again. They also have the weekend discounts that just happened. So lots of good chances for games. I'm also thinking about picking up Neo. I know it's pre-order, but I might go ahead and just pull the trigger on that. I know that game doesn't interest you at all, but I feel like the game did a disservice of letting you play through the beginning instead of like a middle part where you had more of your abilities. Because I really enjoyed the demo of Neo in the later stages. Because not only did you start gaining abilities, but the movement of the game got so much better. There was this one like ice area where the whole thing was you had to build up momentum by sliding on the ice and launching yourself. And there was a part where you had to launch yourself from the back end of the map all the way across the map to a ledge, but you had to build up momentum by basically launching yourself and doing like mini hops across these platforms, and then hitting a wall that makes you slide up and then back down to carry all of your momentum to gain enough speed to make the jump. It was really cool. It was a really cool momentum-based, not puzzle, but like platforming section on an ice level. And I'm like, oh, that was neat. The one thing I hope, though, is that they put in more checkpoints and more save points. Make it like Metroid. A little bit more like Metroid. Because there was only one save point, and going back to areas you've been before sometimes could be a bit of a trek. Which is annoying, but once you know where you're going, you kind of memorize the pathing you need to get there. So it wasn't that difficult. I didn't get lost too often. I got lost like maybe once or twice, and it wasn't very long before I figured out where I needed to go. No dropped frames. I think last time I streamed I dropped a couple of frames. It's slightly worrying. I hate when that happens because it makes me super paranoid. coming up on our first official break of the stream here in a couple of minutes. I like to stretch at least, or I like to get up and move around at least every hour I stream. Not all the time does it happen, but I try to make it happen as much as possible. Sometimes I just get too invested and I forget. Like, I look at the clock and it's like, oh, it's only been 10 minutes? Okay, next time I look at the clock, it's been 2 hours. It's like, well, guess we're not taking a break today, folks. Or with, like, long segments and tons of battles. I hate to break up the flow of battle by pausing in the middle of it. If I'm off stream and I'm in the middle of a battle, I can just pause, leave the game running, whatever. But for stream, I don't feel like that's a good thing to do, because it breaks up the flow. And with it being like time-based rather than turn-based exactly, especially the RPG I'm playing now, I would have to literally pause the game, which mutes the audio, which... not great. I'll get finished with this box and then we'll take our first break of the stream. Shouldn't be that much longer. Overall, a very, very solid start. Card-wise. Actually, we'll take a break now. 3.5 boxes. Yeah, we'll take a break now. Alright, thanks everyone for sticking around. This is a stretch break. Go ahead, get up, grab a drink, grab a snack, do whatever you feel you need to do, and I'll be back shortly. I'm already on it. Thank you for the reminder, but I'm already on it. Alright, anyways, I'll be back shortly. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's get back to it. Thank you, thank you. I'm very surprised. Usually we have like 4 or 5 boxes left when I take my first break. I think. No, it's usually about 2 or 3. Just feels like we've been burning through these boxes today. And we've been hitting some pretty large profits. We're about to hit level 80 too. Well, 80 as well, I mean. Not 82, the level, but 282. Speaking of 82s. I mean, we still get a little bit of a while for a level. I usually get 1 level every 2 or 3 streams. But we're closing in on it. Also, I feel like I should shield this a little bit more, but I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/onedamngamer, or any of the other playthroughs you may have missed or wanted to see. Unfortunately, I don't have Stardew Valley on the playlist. I only have 1 episode, 435 of it, because basically I didn't have my YouTube channel until after that playthrough. I had one last goal I wanted to achieve, and it was kind of a very blessed day when I achieved it. Literally ran out of things to do mid-stream. I was like, It's too bad that, I didn't record any of it or save any of it. That was a pretty long playthrough as well. $9,131 on our first box of profits. Of course, we're about to lose a lot of that, but it's fine. So we're gearing up for another set of boxes. As soon as we're done with these. I was watching some streams of the Game Grumps doing Market Simulator. That game looks way crazy. The Supermarket Simulator, there's a lot more going on in it. A lot more products, a lot more managements, a lot more everything. Seems kind of overwhelming, not gonna lie. 460. And a really beautiful ghost rare. One thing I really wish I would have done on stream for Moonstone Island was catch a shiny. I have a shiny on my solo playthrough, but hey, a demigod pack. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Imagine if we counted the 50s, 60s, and 70s along with the 80s and 90s. Just how much crazy amount of profit we would have. Unfortunately, we don't. So. Two seconds, let me go grab a drink. Never mind, I had one poured. I have a gallon of tea next to me, as well as a bottle of water that I sip on and drink throughout the stream. I also have a snack next to me usually, which I do, but I don't really eat it much during stream. I try not to eat on stream, but if I get kind of hungry, I'll like mute and grab a bite real quick. Doesn't usually happen, but sometimes it does. Especially if I go long on streams. I try my best not to eat on stream, or if I do, I try not to let it make you listen to me eat on stream. Something here real quick. There we go. My stream preview is running a bit behind, so I had to refresh it real quick. We are on our last box. Will we make it to level 80? Will we get any more cards that are worth putting up for sale? Putting up some good numbers in experience. $112. Almost 10,000 on our first boxes. That's crazy. The first boxes were really solid. The beginning was super solid. The middle has been kind of okay. A couple of hits here and there, but we just started, so... feels like it's close, but we're pretty far away still. We're about 5k worth of experience away from leveling up. So, alright. So, our first overall profits are $9,704. Alrighty then. We go again. Another 6,600. Starting with $3,104 worth of profit. So literally we could get 0 good cards and we would still be profiting. I like that. Now let's hope we get good cards, but if the worst were to happen, no, we need good cards, yes, but I'm saying we won't be losing money if we didn't get them. Because we're in the green, technically. Thing is, I always want at least 6,000 if we spend 6,000. I want to at least get back to our original number, or close enough. You know what I mean? Of profit. Whee! That was cool. I flipped that box like it was a bottle. Although I don't think it was supposed to land face up. It landed face... It was even cooler that it landed face up. So last time I went outside, it was actually starting to snow. Wasn't like a hard, I would say like a light flurry, if anything. That's cool. The gate was a real pain in the butt to open though. The gate did not want to open. I didn't know we were projected to get any snow. That's what I get for not watching the news. How many inches are we supposed to be getting, if any? Oh, only 1 inch? That ain't bad. You know, it's funny. It can snow really, really hard and you'd only get an inch. Because it's like, snow is so small, but there's so much of it coming down that you think it's going to be a lot more than it is. You ever feel that way, Mom? How it's like, you see all this snow and you're like, oh, it looks like there's so much, but there's actually not much at all. Yeah. Rain too, a little bit, but not as much, where it's like, oh, we're getting a lot of heavy rain, so it's gonna be, we're getting a lot of rain, but it's like, no, not nearly as much as you'd think. Oh no, I've devolved into actually having small talk. So, how about that weather, huh? That's truly when you know you're out of topics. Yeah, well. Brat's brat. Family is family is family. You know, when the honey story broke originally, sorry this is a random tangent, but, you know, it is what it is. I was so interested in watching the video and seeing people, like, uncover everything. But now that part 2 has come out, I still haven't actually watched part 2 fully. About the honey scandal. Like, I got a brief overview from Charlie. I think it was Charlie. Who did, like, a kind of follow-up to it. Where he, like, highlighted some of the things. Being like, oh, this is how it hurt small businesses. Oh, this is how it messed with consumers. Things like that. And then, like, his video was like 10 minutes. And the honey thing, the honey part 2 is like 59. And I just haven't gotten around to watching it. I really should. But yeah, they're gone quiet. But it's fine. 282. they gave us a really strong start. So I would say one of our stronger starts in recent memory. Normally it's like, oh, they give us enough for a box and a couple of grand more. Maybe like 3 or 4 grand. But not 9 grand total, which buys us a second box. Set of boxes. The cards are what they are. We just rip them and tear them. And we get what we get. That's kind of the downside of this game. Where it's like the RNG dependent on the cards. There's not much control you have. And I guess that's kind of why I don't get upset too often with this game. A nice demigod pack. Oh, there is one thing I did want to talk about over the weekend. One more thing that I did is I made it all the way to the final climb in Peak. I made it to the volcano climb for the first time. I climbed a pretty good ways up. Fortunately, I had to do some things, made some mistakes. One bad play is really all it took to take me out. But I did learn a lot. Like just how broken 117 the skeleton is. Because there's a book that turns your character into a skeleton. And the skeleton has no hunger and is immune to fire. Which really helped. Because I wound up in a very, very bad situation during my climb to the volcano. I took a really bad jump, took some big damage, had nothing to recover my health with, was basically forced to use the book to turn me into a skeleton. I don't know if the volcano would have instant killed me, or if I could have literally rode it to the top. Or if I would have just fell into it until I died. Don't know. But I didn't want to test it, you know? Not when I had gotten there for the first time. It definitely feels like the desert is the easier of the two climbs. For the most part. When it comes to the third climb, it's either the desert or the blizzard. The blizzard just always wipes me out because the ice has areas where it looks like you should be able to stand, but you can't. And it's hard to tell sometimes where you can and can't stand. I haven't quite figured that out. But the desert, other than when the sand tornadoes mess you up, generally there is always a pretty straightforward path. 135. Like, you find a cave and you go up. That's the main mechanic of, or the gimmick of the desert. It's just like, once you find the cave, you figure out how to stay in the cave and go as high as you can. with every great once in a while having to leave the cave to do some trickier platforming here and there. But the cave platforming is really tough. 148. Because there are times where you have to go up and down inside the cave to get to different sections. 108. And getting to the cave itself is the hardest part. Because you have the sand tornadoes and the sun and the cactuses. I guess the climb to the cave through the cave is also pretty difficult because of the TNT and the scorpions, as well as the sun itself as well. A lot of things that can deal damage. $192. 167. 112. 188. 143. 148. 103. Nice god pack. A 1K god pack. That's good stuff. $103. I was about to say, are we getting a run back? But no. But yeah, so my climbing skills and my pathing skills in Peak are getting much better. Slowly but surely, I'm learning to master the art of Peak. Now, if only I could find a group to play it with. Because while it takes more resources and is much harder to do with people, I feel like the climbs themselves are much easier. Because you have people who, if they have extra stamina, can get up higher than you and help you climb by pulling you up with them. There's the mechanic of needing food and other supplies that makes the game harder, but I believe the climbs are much funner with people. But regardless, I've been playing it on my own. I do at least one run every day during the weekday. And I'm starting to get back into Splitgate because Splitgate 2 came out. Full release called Arena Reloaded. And from what I played of Super Customs, or Lab Customs, because we did a Lab Customs event during the weekend. I forgot to mention that. 321. the old crew got back together. We did some random viewer maps, or user maps. Some of the people who played with us were actually the creators of those maps, which was cool. For the most part, I did bad, like usual. I did okay on one match, broke even on another, did good one match, and the rest of the matches I fell flat on my face. Which happens. Doing okay is like not getting far off of breaking even. Like, well, yeah. The thing is, it's a different play style. The guns are different. The feel is different. The mechanics are different. Then Splitgate 1. The portaling is different. There's a lot of differences between the two games. And since I haven't really played it all that much, and people are really starting to get back into Splitgate 2, it seems like it's a hit. Which is good, because I wanted to like Splitgate 2, and I did to a degree when it first came out. The bugs, the glitches, the challenges, and all that stuff really made it hard sometimes to like the game, but for the most part, the game was fine. But I really do like the new version. I really do. It's so much better than what Splitgate 2 started out as. But right now, I'm kind of been dipping my toes in and out. Believe me when I say, I know I'm not perfect. I never was and never will be. I'm just not that type of gamer. I play to the best of my ability, and I have fun while doing so. That's just who I am. Sure, I could master the portal routes and get faster at portaling and do all this crazy stuff, but I just want to run around and shoot. That's just it. Like, I'll portal, but it is what it is. Which is why I never get too upset in super customs, because I know that everyone else is better at using portals and guns, and has way more shooter experience than I do, so I'm going to get creamed 90% of the time. 1,157. But what makes it fun is the people I'm playing with. The jokes we're cracking, and the silly stuff that does happen during these modes we play. The maps are really cool too. There were some really cool maps. And with maps like the ones I saw, I honestly can't wait for more updates to the game where they add more stuff, maybe like tweak how to build maps a little bit more. Because I'm not a map builder, but I have friends that are, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. Because back in Splitgate 2, there was some pretty cool maps. It just felt like the interest for it wasn't nearly as high as it is now. $222. Level 80! We did it! It's fine. 6,528 instead of 82. Alright. We're taking a brief break here to do this. Oh. 222, I think it was. Really? That's all I got for it? Well, I guess I could move it a little bit more over now, so that it has more time. They hit this, they come through here. But do I want it closer to the door? No, because I have this one too. So yeah, I think that's better. It's a very, very, very small upgrade, but it's fine. There we go. You were right, it was hitting the wall. Much appreciated. Good call. Alright. Back to the cards. That's just something I've been waiting for since level 70. I wanted to do that right away. Now we have to wait until level 85 for our next shop improvement. Well, if we wanted to do another set of 10, we could. And we'd still be in the green. But our main goal is to get 9,000, because that's where we kind of ended last time. Oh, yeah. I was saying if we wanted to, we could, though, is what I was getting at. Saying that we would still break even if we bought another 10. Yeah, 9,700 is our target. Exactly. But I was saying, if we didn't get anything more, and we decided to do another card pull tomorrow, we would be in the green right away, or something like that, is what I was getting at. Move these boxes just a tad bit closer so I don't have to go out of my way to grab them. There we go. There we go. There we go. We're good. But yeah, 9,700 and above is definitely our main objective. Because then we recoup our total spent cost as well for the box. So we end off on pure profit. Alright, 9,700 and above is definitely our main objective. Because then we recoup our total spent cost as well for the box. So we end off on pure profit. Something I've been seeing a lot on YouTube lately is people trying out Clair Obscur Expedition 33 for the first time, starting off as haters. It's so funny. Someone's like, oh, I don't like RPGs, but everyone talks so good about this game, and I think it's stupid, but I'm going to try it out. And by the end of the first section of the game, they're like, okay, I'm beginning to see why people like this. And it's like, a lot of people don't like Clair because of the Game Awards, because of how highly it's praised. But it's funny watching people who have an open mind enough to where even though they don't think they'll like the game, they'll give it a shot because everyone likes it so much and they want to see what the hype is. And just getting their minds blown right away. Not only with just the music, but the whole opening segment. Because I gotta tell you, the first hour of Clair Obscur is absolutely insane. How immediately you fall in love with the world, and then you understand like what's actually at stake, and it makes you feel for the characters like right away. Because even if you don't like the main character or anything, just like the events and how they unfold make you immediately invest you in things, in the story. Admittedly, they do pull a cheap punch on you with it, but it's effective. No spoilers, though. I mean, I'll probably talk with you after stream, Mom. But for people interested in the game, no spoilers. 188. I try not to spoil things and events in games or in stories, because I don't want people who watch my VODs or watch my streams to get spoiled on games they potentially might themselves want to try or play. So. Because I talk to you after stream, during stream, and before stream. So everything I've talked about, you've probably already heard before. Sometimes even multiple times. $112. Let's go, inching our way up. Very, very slowly inching our way up. Gotta say, the second set has not been nearly as good as the first set, but that's fine. This is all profit anyways, so. Would be nice to hit the 9,000, but if we don't, hey, we still got 7,000 worth of profit. Which, pretty good if you ask me. 4 boxes left. Ooh, 299. Music also in Clear Obscure just gets stuck in my head because it's so catchy. And the funniest thing is I don't know how to sing any of it because it's in a different language. The only words in English is Clear Obscure, and that's pretty much it. In the song that gets stuck in my head. I think Verso is not one of the characters named Verso is also in this song, and that's in English. It says Verso, but the rest of it is in a different language. So all the music is just beautiful, but you can't understand a word of it. 192. Just so funny because the songs are literally about the story and the characters. So if you understand French, the music spoils you to parts of the game. It's so funny how that works. I guess that was a small spoiler, is that there's a character named Verso, but I'm not going to say anything about who he is, what they do, anything story related. It's kind of just like being spoiled that Joker is in a Batman movie, or Flaming Torch is in the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, he's a character that's in the movie. So what? Is he a villain? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? 5,050. And we broke our 9,000 goal. So am I. But we still got 4 boxes to go. Well, 3.5-ish. I will after this handful of cards. Don't worry. I could have waited 2 minutes, but that's when disaster usually happens. So, yeah. Let's start and say we did. There we go. You're welcome. I need to get better about following the golden rule of gaming, and that is save and save often. I mean, I try to, but 108. Sometimes I just don't, and that's really risky for a game that doesn't autosave. Hey, do you like an hour worth of progress being erased? Well then, let's have the game suddenly crash for no reason. Oh, power went out. Hope you don't miss your 2 hours worth of progress you put into this game because you didn't save like a silly person. I've had that happen a few times. Oh, and the most important and most damaging. Oh, you're gonna fight a boss after 3 hours of grinding? Well, did you save beforehand? Nope. Did you lose? Yep. Good luck. There's 3 hours worth of progress gone, or grinding gone. Because you didn't save. 108. That's when I learned the golden rules of gaming. Those instances. After this handful of cards, we'll be taking another short break, which will lead us into the final hour of stream. Overall, the cards have been killing it today. Really solid. Some moments here and there that were dull, but for the most part, they kept it up. Alright. Saving again, just because we got a couple of good cards. And because we're going on break, so always save before break. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back shortly. See you soon. Alrighty then, I am back. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed your break. Onward. But yeah, I've been seeing more and more people doing stuff like that, which makes me laugh every time. Like, I hate RPGs. Wait, this is actually pretty good. One person was like, there's no way Claire deserves Game of the Year 1 hour in. Okay, I understand why now. It's always the same story. So funny. But going back to the original point, that I feel like the Game Awards, when they overhype a game, it actually hurts the game in the long run. But you know, I'm happy to see so many open-minded people. Demigod Pack. I guess I had a lot more to say than I thought I did today. Then again, I'm also talking about stuff I've already talked about a few times already, so... Sorry. I've been watching people do Mario 64 speedruns too. A couple of people. Makes me miss the days of bingo with my friends. I used to do, I won't even say amateur, very casual style speedrunning. 1031. Where me and my friends would race trying to complete objectives on a bingo card in Mario 64. I knew a lot of the tricks. Like, I know the slide skip, I know how to get a lot of the stars fairly quickly, but I could never string them all together in a coherent run. And even though I knew how to do them, I could not do them consistently enough to actually be a speedrunner. So that's why I chose to do bingo with my friends. But it was a lot of fun. And I only ever performed the infinite stair skip one time in my entire life. I was so proud when I did it. But this was back when I was a lot younger. I haven't played Mario 64 in ages. And the only ROM I ever played of Mario 64 was Star Road, which was really good. I 99%'d it. There was one star that I just couldn't get. And I kind of gave up on getting it. And actually it was more like 80%'d because there was like green hidden stars, I think, if I remember correctly, that I never found out about until after I quit playing. But in terms of like storyline stars, 227. cleared out all the levels, got all the 100 coin stars. A lot of fun. I've always had a lot of respect for speedrunners. They put in so long of just playing the same game over and over and over and over and over to a point where they've got it down to a science. Especially in platformer games where it's like you're doing precision moving 90% of the time, and 10% of the time there's like a small margin of error, so or like sections where you can't really do anything, and it's mostly dependent on like just memorizing certain movement patterns or something. But for the most part, it's like just precision moving with no mistakes for 2 hours or an hour and 30 minutes straight. It's like, how do you even get to that level? And don't even get me started on RPG runs. For speedrunning, it's like, either A, it's manipulating RNG by doing a bunch of hyper-specific things, or it's like just memorizing every kind of enemy you need to fight, the maximum amount of experience you need to get and how to get it quickly and efficiently. It's just like pure efficiency, down to a science. Need to steal this item from this enemy in order to get to this point in the game that much faster. Things like that. It's just like, jeez. I wish I had that level of skill. Or ability to memorize. So we're talking like 40, 50-hour games broken down into 2-hour runs somehow. With a bit of luck and a lot of planning, foreplanning. The only type of speedruns I could ever see me doing is like simple puzzle game ones, because it's like the answers are always the same. There is no variance. But that's if I wanted to take the time to learn how to do all the puzzles. And some puzzle games do have random elements to them, like Tetris. $145. Drink a little bit of water. Ah! Why did my monitor turn off? Hold on, chat. I'll be back shortly. Can't see chat right now. I don't know why it does this. There we go, we're back. Thank you. I hate when, I guess because I refreshed my stream, it muted my stream automatically on my stream preview, and because nothing was going on that monitor for an extended period of time with audio, it just decided to go into sleep mode. Even though there is a stream playing, there was no audio coming out. So... But I fixed it. Sometimes it doesn't, it takes a second for it to wake up. In the meantime, I can't see chat. What I should probably do is have a second chat on another monitor. So that even if one chat goes down, I can still see the other. 272. Excuse me. Doing pretty good in the ways of experience, too. 134. $318. Alright. We're on our last box. The cards seem pretty quiet now, but really solid pretty much throughout. So the ending boxes are kind of meh. Like, I am not at all disappointed in our profits. 167. The profits have gone way above my expectation. Been solid through like 90% of the entire stream. The ending has been very quiet. I might actually wind up opening shop for a day. Because there is still plenty of time left. I thought I would be moving a little bit slower through it, so I didn't think there would be enough time. But maybe there will be. I think I've got like one more handful of cards and that's it. After this handful of packs. Yep. Last handful. That's it. Let me check the shelves. I think I got all the shelves done. 57. Oh wait, that's the same. Oops. Honestly, it's looking like I priced them all already. Toys are all set. I think I actually priced everything already. Yeah, I think I did. So... Yep, I'm putting out cards now. It's not going to be quite in order because I have those extra cards. That I wanted to sell, but yeah. Double checking. Yeah, these are the same. Yeah. Alright, cool. I like getting doubles. So much easier to price everything. So much quicker too. Alright. I will save in case the worst is to happen. We will open up shop. Alrighty. Alright, our first wave of customers is coming in. I already have paid bills. See, 7 days. It would have been down to 6. One of the very first things I did when I started. Card deal already? You want to give me a better card? Sure. Card deals. 1,200. Highest I'm willing to go. Nope. You want too much. Not interested. I think I missed one. I think I missed one card deal. Nope, not interested. Not interested. Double check. Sprays are all good. Yep. Alright, cool. Making money. Let's see. Are we low on anything here? Nope. Granite statue? Can't find a granite statue. What are you talking about? Don't I have one? Oh, no. Probably around one of the things I unlocked. Wow, come on, guys. Where are the good deals? Can't accept that offer because I don't have the card. 2,200. There we go. Nice. And holy crap. Turn my back just for 2 seconds. All the cards are gone. $170. Okay. Okay. 2,000. And there we go. No, I did not do that for 22K. Alright, let's see. Lots of deals. You want to give me a better card? Sure. I'll happily take that card off of you. Alright, let's see. Even if I don't sell it today. Alright, let's see. Ooh. Ooh. You want to give me something for my ghost rare? That's better than my ghost rare. In terms of pricing. I forgot about my ghost rares. There we go. 400. There you go. Any card deals? Card deal. Nope. Not worth my time. Wish there was a lull in customers for a second. Grabbing cards. It's really hard to keep up. No card deals. Okay. Destiny. This is just to play catch up. Alright, cool. Card deal. Wow. $630. That's 6,000. That's 600. Got yourself a deal. Not interested. Alright. 70. No. Okay. Tetramani again. Over $200 bonus. All right. 87. It's barely over 100. I'd rather not. I'm trying not to sell down from what I currently have. Okay. How's this looking? Okay, we're looking good. No stinkies. No smelly bad. 59, sure. It's just a better card, so why wouldn't I? Oh. Alright, let's see. Toys are looking good. These are looking okay. Missing some here and there, but not too shabby. The board games. 175, 150. Alright, cool. Would have liked to do a better deal than that, but we all can't have what we want. It was Tetramon, it had to be. Remember what I said about selling down? Well, clearly I sold down on that. Okay. We're still doing fine. We're not being overrun anymore. Game board, game. Okay, you're doing it? Yes. Alright, cool. Finish what you started, my friend. There we go. We're looking good. It's only when I open shop do I really have to pay attention, because I'm at the point where my shop is big, so it eats up a lot of focus. It's not really exciting or thrilling, but it is. But if I don't focus, I get overrun really quickly when it comes to the cards. Have to be on top of things. There we go. Put my head in here. Nice. Alright. I can already see one thing. Oh. 'Tis the end of the day. How wonderful. Alright. I'll help check people out, and that'll be it. $250 is your change. Thank you. Have a nice day. Deal. Ooh, that's a really good deal. $450? Awesome! That's a huge deal. 250. Ooh, card deals galore. No. Sure, it's just a better card in general. Would have liked to, but no. Okay. Last wave of customers. Here we go. Oh. There we go. 180. 88. Card deal. You want to give me a ghost rare that's better than my 287? Absolutely. That's it. Oh, nope. There's one more customer. And that does it for the shopping day. A couple of ghost rares are left. Actually, quite a few. Ghost rares weren't that hot today, huh? Alright. Thanks so much for sticking around, Mom. I'll see you later. Ooh. Alright. Let me restock real quick. This is what I like so much about these. It's just so quick to do this. That. Alright. Okay, so there is one more that I would... There is one more that I was missing. Where's the star? There we go. 1,300 for the initial restock. There we go. Let's say, did I goof? But no, I did not. Starting to get kind of low on these boxes, sort of. Not really selling, but it's fine. Ooh, so basically I just had hit my last box of those. Red dice. Ah, there we go. Not a bad restock. Aha! I knew it. Perfect. All in order. I'm just finishing my restocking, and that will do it for the stream. And for the YouTube video. This is where I'll end the YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be notified. Ooh, I missed one. Be notified when I go when I post my next video. And if you want to catch me live, come on over to twitch.tv/onedamngamer, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. EST. That's when I stream. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.